Welcome back to Meals 10 Alive For. I'm Jody Breton, and this is where food and memory meet, and not everything stays in the past. Let's get into it. Today, we're making Clams Casino. There are places that keep secrets, not because they're meant to, but because they're built to. Deep water, endless miles, silence, and for decades, Lake Mead did exactly that. It held everything beneath its surface, including things no one was supposed to find, until the water started to disappear. Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the United States, created by the massive Hoover Dam. It once stretched wide enough and deep enough to hide almost anything, and for a long time, it did. But in recent years, something changed. Drought, extreme heat, falling water levels, the lake began to shrink. As it did, the shoreline crept further and further back, exposing things that hadn't seen daylight in decades. Old boats, sunken debris, forgotten objects, and then something else. In May of 2022, a group of boaters spotted something strange along the receding shoreline: a rusted metal barrel. At first, it didn't seem unusual, just another piece of debris, until they looked closer. Inside were human remains. The body had been there for a long time, decades. Investigators quickly determined this wasn't recent. The clothing, the condition, the barrel itself, everything pointed to one conclusion. This person had been placed there, on purpose, and then left. As details emerged, the stories became even darker. The victim had been shot. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't someone who wandered too far or got lost. This was deliberate, careful, and planned. The body placed inside a barrel and dropped into the deep water with the expectation that it would never be found. And for decades, it wasn't. Because when something like this surfaces, there's always one question: who did this? And almost immediately, people started looking towards one place: Las Vegas. Just miles away from Lake Mead, a city with a past that isn't exactly clean. Because in the mid 1900s, Vegas wasn't just casino and neon lights. It was controlled by organized crime. Figures tied to groups like the Chicago outfit had a presence there. Money flowed through the city, and when problems came up, they were handled quietly and permanently. And Lake Mead was right there, deep enough, remote enough, perfect for something you didn't want found. But the barrel wasn't the only discovery. As the water continued to drop, more remains began to surface. Different areas, different conditions, some skeletal, some partially preserved, each one telling the same story: that the lake had been holding on to more than just water, it had been holding on to people. For years, Lake Mead was the perfect hiding place: cold depths, limited visibility, a place where time slowed down, where things could disappear and stay that way. But now, the lake is changing, and with it, everything that was hidden. Investigators believe that many of these remains date back decades, to the 1970s, the 1980s, a time when Las Vegas was booming and when the lines between business and crime were often blurred, when people could vanish without much attention, without closure, without answers. Some of the remains found in Lake Mead have never been identified, but not all, which means there are still stories that haven't been told. Still people who were never reported or never found, until now, because that's what makes this so unsettling. Isn't just what was discovered, it represents time, silence, and the idea that something can stay hidden for so long until suddenly it isn't. So now when you look over Lake Mead, it feels different. Still quiet, but not empty, because somewhere beneath that surface, or maybe now along its edges, are pieces of stories that were never meant to be told. And maybe the most unsettling part is this: the lake isn't done yet.